is disgusting. Oh my god, it's the worst smoothie I've ever made in my whole entire life. But I'm drinking it because it's healthy. Anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Good morning for me. Welcome to my channel. Hope you guys are amazing. Today is just going to be a quick Q&A video because I get a lot of messages, and as you guys know, I like to talk a lot. I talk too much in my videos or in general. It's because when someone asks me a question or when I'm talking to someone, I like to explain things in specific details so everybody understands every single detail. I don't just answer the question, I answer the question with things around it, just so you can understand properly. So it's easier for me to just do a video than to type to you guys. I only type sometimes, but when I have a lot of questions, it's just easier for me to just make a video because maybe everybody else wants to know the answer to the question and everybody can learn. Yes, question number one, age limit for being cabin crew. There isn't really an age limit to be cabin crew. I know with Qatar Airways there is an age limit. They take people that are below 30, but with Emirates, Etihad and all the others in the Middle East, they don't have an age limit. Now, someone messaged me about being 29. 29 is completely fine. I know people that are 34 that have been hired before. Someone asked me about being 42 years old. 42 years old, I know Qatar no, but the Emirates and Etihad and all the other Middle Eastern airlines, I think are pretty fine. There is a lot of people that are even older that are in, but it just depends on the timing. On the timing of what they need and the criteria that they need, because every time they hire, they have a criteria. Like, let's hire a 10-year-old or let's hire a 50-year-old, or do you know, understand what I'm saying? So there is not really an age limit. It doesn't specify anywhere that there is an age limit, as long as you're 21, and that's it. But I think being 42, even being 45, I think it's fine if you look youthful, you have no scars, you look quite healthy, quite fit. I think it's definitely completely fine. So go for it. And don't forget, there isn't just the 3 airlines that are in the Gulf. There is so many others that hire expats and people from outside. Question number 2, fear of heights. So how do you fly when you have a fear of heights? When you're in the aircraft, you don't feel like you're in the air at all. Really, you do not feel it. You don't really look outside, you don't really see anything outside. Majority of the flights, if it's like a long flight, an ultra long haul flight or a long haul flight, all the window shades are down. You're not really looking outside. It's dark in the cabin, so it's just like you're in a house or you're in a room and you're just working in the kitchen or working. You understand what I'm saying? It's only if you open and you look down, it's completely fine. I mean, then if you're really scared to look down, do you know what I mean? It doesn't really affect. For me, I don't even think about it. I forget that I'm on an aircraft even. Even if you have a fear of flying, you kind of get used to it. Fear of flying or fear of heights, you just kind of get used to it anyway. So fear of heights, if you have a fear of heights, you kind of have to either overcome it or maybe you just cannot fly. But I don't think it's a big issue anyway, because you're not really like hanging off the engines of the aircraft or anything like that. So you're literally inside a confined space. And even when you're sitting on your jump seat and it's takeoff landing, if you don't look outside the window, you know, it's fine. But you do need to have to be strong in the mind. So if there was an emergency situation and you needed to, like, we were up high and you needed to do some stuff, or the plane drops, then you might have a bit of a problem, because there are some situations where the plane will rapidly descend, for example, or turbulence, or you know, things like that. So yeah, fear of heights, it's completely fine really. Fear of flying is completely fine. There are lots of girls that have like people in general that have fear of, cabin crew that have fear of flying, and they just overcome it or they get used to it. But you don't really feel like you're flying when you're like working, and you know, you kind of get used to it. It's like literally like second nature to me. When turbulence comes, I feel like it's a roller coaster ride. So for me, it's fine. Okay, question number 3. Males with beards on the job and at the assessment day. Like I've said before in my assessment day video, you cannot have a beard or any sign of a beard or any sign of a facial hair. For the assessment day, you have to be cleanly shaven completely. And even like I said, you really need to be completely shaven everywhere. Like if some guys have hair here, if you have a unibrow, fix your eyebrows. Have really clean, even around here, around your neck, everything needs to be completely clean cut. And you have to be you have to have shave in that morning you're going to the assessment day. On the job, none of the Middle Eastern airlines, none of the airlines really allow facial hair. There's only a few airlines in Europe that allow facial hair, but here in the Middle East, you cannot have facial hair. Is just not allowed. Even when you're going to the job, all the cabin managers will check the guys that you've cleanly shaven that day and not the day before. You can't even have a shadow on the job. So a beard is not allowed. And even if you're gonna shave as well for the assessment day and for work, you're gonna make sure you have a good shaving cream and a good razor, because if you have too many pimples, it's not hygienic and you'll get offloaded from a flight and you will not get accepted to the assessment day. So it's really, 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 really important. Fourth question, which is really interesting actually, and I felt like I really needed to explain this in a video. So Muslim women that wear the hijab, can they work as cabin crew? Okay, if you want to work ground staff in the Middle East, like for example in Qatar, in Abu Dhabi or Dubai, you are allowed. You can even wear a abaya. Etihad have an Etihad abaya, and a special Etihad scarf, which is part of the uniform, to work at the airport on ground. Now, unfortunately, cabin crew, for those 3 airlines, you cannot actually wear a hijab. You have to just not wear the hijab. The hat does not cover your hair, and the hat is taken off after you get on the aircraft. When the aircraft is closed and you start your work duties, the hat actually comes off. It doesn't stay on. So yeah, unfortunately, you cannot actually have, you can't wear the hijab. But the good news is there are a few airlines that actually only hire girls with hijab. Or even if they don't wear the hijab, if you want to work for them, you actually have to wear the hijab at work. For example, Saudi Arabia Airlines, all the girls wear the hijab. That's part of the uniform and on board, because it's a really Muslim airline. They have to wear it all the time. There is an airline called Royal Brunei Airline, which is close to you actually, because I know the girl that messaged me was from Malaysia. Royal Brunei Airlines, they wear the hijab as well, part of the uniform. It actually looks beautiful, their uniform. Even Saudi Arabia Airlines, their uniform is really, really nice. So you have options there, so it's not an issue, but it's just an issue if you want to work for Emirates, Qatar or Etihad. Try with Saudi Arabia Airlines. They're a big airline. They fly to a lot of destinations. And yeah, they're still in the Middle East. They are based in Riyadh and Jeddah, from what I believe. So yeah, so that's my questions for today. I hope that helps you. If you have any more questions, I'll do more Q&As. Just send me a message. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Good luck with everything. Let me know if you need any help. Thank you. Good damn. Bye.